Hello, good morning everybody. Today's topic is organ. So here you can see this gross section of this eye. So normal eye, medially there is a lacrimal gland. This one are the tendon of this levator palpebral superior muscles. This one are the lacrimal canaliculi, lacrimal sac, and nasolacrimal duct. This one are the puncta, pupils, iris, sclera, upper eyelid and lower eyelid. So as a whole, eye are a peripheral organ for the vision and are located in the bony cavity of the orbit. So bony orbit, this one are the location of these eyes. So each eyeball is like a camera. It has a lens that produces the image of object that we look at. The image fall on a light sensitive membrane called the retina. The cells in the retina convert the light image into the nerve impulse that pass through the optic nerve and the other parts of the visual pathway to reach the visual area in the cerebral cortex. So this is the cortex with that vision is received pervasive. So here there is a study of this special sensation including the eye. This one are the for the sight sensation. So when you can see this cross section. So cross section, you can see the eye. There is a lens. This one are the sclera. Anteriorly there is a cornea, and this portion are the anterior chambers. This one are the iris. Behind the iris there is a lens. This process name is given the ciliary body and the ciliary process. So here there is a three coat of the eyeball. First sclera, second choroid, and inner there is a retina. So sclerocorneal junction, this one are the sclera and cornea. In between this junction name is given the sclerocorneal junction, and this portion are the retina. So inner retina, this one are the pigment layer. So these one are the structures of this eyeball. The whole of this eyeball consists three layer. Outer fibrous coat, उसको हमने बोला sclera and cornea. So fibrous coat name is given the sclera and cornea. Middle coat including this choroid and ciliary body and the iris. This one are the ciliary body. Anteriorly, this one are the inner there is a retina. So choroid body, ciliary body and the iris. This are the ciliary body, this portion are the iris, and this one are the suspensory ligament of the lens. So ciliary body, iris and the choroid body. Name is given this middle vascular cord. And inner nervosa cord called the retina. So outer sclera and cornea. Anteriorly this part name is given this cornea. Continuous sclerocorneal junction, and this one are the sclera. Behind this one are the continuation of the sclera. So this one are the outer fibrous cord. मिडल vascular cord कहाँ से शुरू होता है? यहाँ से ciliary body. Then this part name is given this choroid. Middle जो blue color है, this one are the choroid. And behind there is anteriorly there is a iris. So this part are the iris, ciliary body and the choroid. This one are the middle cord. एंड इनर नर्वोसा कोट, इनर जो कोट है मिडल कोट को हमने बोला वास्कुलर कोट है, आउटर फाइब्रोस कोट है, दिस वन वास्कुलर कोट एंड इनर नर्वोस कोट. सो उसको हम बोलेंगे रेटिना. सो इनर जो पिगमेंटेड लेयर है दिस वन आर द नर्वस कोट. सो आई बोल एज ए होल इट डिवाइड इनटू दिस थ्री लेयर, द आउटर, मिडल एंड इनर. सो फाइब्रोस कोट, vascular coat and nervous coat. The space between the iris and the cornea is called the anterior chambers. जो iris है and this cornea, this part are the cornea, उसके बीच वाला जो space है उसको हम बोलेंगे anterior chamber. When the space between the iris and the front of the lens is called the posterior chamber. This one are the posterior chambers or the vitreous chamber. Also name is given this vitreous chamber behind the lens. The part of the eyeball behind the lens is filled with jelly-like substance called the vitreous body. So name is given this vitreous chambers or the vitreous chambers because it contains the jelly-like substance. Name is given this vitreous body. So main part of this eyeball here I will discuss one by one. After fibrous coat, first there is the sclera. The outer wall of this eyeball is formed posterior 5-6 by the thick white opaque membrane called the sclera. The sclera consists of the white fibrous tissue, collagen, some elastic fiber and the connective tissue cells. Mainly fibroblasts are also present. Some of these cells are pigmented. So this part name is given this sclera. Next, eyelid and lacrimal gland. Here the three parts I will cover in histology of this eye. The eye is the organ of the vision. It has a three coat, fibrous coat, sclera and cornea, vascular coat, choroid, ciliary body and iris, nervous coat are the retina. Now when you can see this in the under the slit microscope or the dissecting microscope, the eyeball you can see like this type part of the structure. First this one are the cornea, second one ocular conjunctiva, this part are the conjunctiva, this part are the sclera. This muscles name is given the ciliary muscles, it is the smooth muscles. This ligament name is given the suspensory ligament. This part are the lens, anterior to lens. This part are the iris, यहाँ पे जो this one are the iris, anterior chambers. This part name is given the anterior chamber. Here this name is given this limbus because the cornea and sclera के बीच वाला जो junction है, junction of the corneoscleral junction or also name is given this corneal limbus. Here there is a iridocorneal angle. This angle it is formed by this iridocorneal angle. This part are the ciliary process. This part are ciliary process. These are the iris. This one are the ciliary muscles and inner. This one are the ciliary retina. So ciliary retina innermost जो pigment nervosa है. This one are the retina, inner to outer retina. Anterior to retina there is a ora serrata. This one are the inner part of this retina, and here there is a depression. Name is given this optic blind spot or the optic papilla. So inner this portion of the retina, middle coat there is a choroid pigmented layer, and outer coat fibrous layer name is given the sclera. So inner retina, middle choroid and outer sclera, and in between there is a optic nerve. It carries the blood vessels. An external seat of the optic nerve of the dura mater. This part are the optic nerve, and here there is a optic papilla. This one are the blind spot name is given this optic papilla. The depression portion on the retina name is given this macula fovea. The orbital fatty tissue surrounding there is a socket of this eyeball. So socket of this orbital, and this part are the fibrous coat sclera. This one are the posterior chamber, also name is given the vitreous chambers. Inner pigmental layer are the choroid and optic retina. Inner choroid to there is a optic retina, and this part anterior to retina name is given this ora serrata. So these are the whole section of this orbit. You can easily see under the dissector microscope in paranomic. So I will take one by one layer outer fibrous coat, cornea and sclera. First you can identify the slide of this cornea, then you can identify the slide of this sclera. So this one are the one by one layer I will cover on the histology of this eyeball. First cornea. So you see this section, transverse section of this cornea. So this all are the section histologic appearance of this cornea. Anteriorly, this one the anterior epithelium. Middle there is a anterior limiting membrane. Also name is given this Bowman's membrane. Third part are the stroma. This name is given this corneal stroma. It is substantia corporea, including this corneal cells, modified fibroblast, and here there is a lamina of this collagen fibers. So this part name is given this corneal stroma. Then fourth layer are the posterior limiting membrane. Also name is given this Descemet membrane. So anterior limiting membrane का नाम हमने दिया Bowman membranes. Posterior limiting membrane का नाम है Descemet membrane. And posteriorly there is a posterior epithelium और the low cupoidal epithelium. जो एंटीरियर एपिथेलियम में मल्टी लेयर है क्योंकि यहाँ पे प्रोटेक्शन की जरूरत है. ये दिस एपिथेलियम आर द स्ट्रेटिफाइड. कौन सी है? स्ट्रेटिफाइड स्क्वैमस एपिथेलियम नॉन केराटिनाइज्ड. Here there is a squamous cells and lower portion rest on the basement membrane. These cells are the columnar cells. So two type of the cells है columnar cells and above there is a squamous cells. So name is given the stratified squamous epithelium. So cornea is consist of the 5 layer. It is avascular and transparent portion of the eye, 1 millimeter thickness. So it is the anterior 1/6 of the eyeball, the sclera is replaced by sclera is replaced sclera transfer called the cornea. So the anterior 1/6 of the eyeball, the sclera is replaced by the transparent disc called the cornea. The cornea is convex forward, it's colorless and avascular, but it has very rich nerve supply. So microscopic structure of the cornea is made up of this five-layer anterior corneal epithelium. The outermost layer is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, also named is given this corneal epithelium. The cells in the deepest layer of the epithelium are the columnar. In the middle layer, they are polyhedral and the superficial layer flattened, or the squamous cells. So they are arranged with the great irregularly. With the electron microscope, the cells of the superficial surface of the epithelium show the projection either in form of this microvilli or the fold of this plasma membrane. Those folds are believed to play an important role in retaining film of the fluid over the surface of the cornea. The corneal epithelium regenerates rapidly after the damage. Now second layer are the Bowman's membrane or the anterior perforating membrane. So Bowman's membrane, it is the corneal epithelium rest on the anterior limiting membrane, also called the Bowman membrane. With the light microscope, this lamina propria to be structureless, but with electron microscope, it is dense, homogeneous, made up of these fine collagen fibers embedded in the matrix. It gives great stability and the strength to the cornea. It also acts as a barrier to spread of the infection. Once damaged, it cannot regenerate, leading to scar formation and the permanent impairment of the vision. The third one, there is a corneal stroma. So this larger part name is given the corneal stroma. Also name is given the substantia corporea. So corneal stroma, most of the thickness of the cornea is found by the substantia corporea or the corneal stroma. The substantia corporea is made up of these type 1 collagen fibers embedded in the ground substance containing the sulfated glycosaminoglycan. They are arranged with great regularity and form the lamina. The fibers within one lamina are parallel to one another, but the fibers in adjoining lamina runs in different direction, forming the obtuse angle with each other. The transparency of the cornea is due to the regular arrangement of this fiber, and because of this fact that the fiber in the ground substance have the same refractive index. Fibroblasts are present in the substantia corporea. They appear to flatten in vertical section through the cornea, but are seen to star shape on the surface view. They are also called the keratinocyte or the corneal corpuscle. So this one are the third layer of this corneal stroma. Then fourth one are the posterior limiting membrane. Also name is given this Descemet membrane. So deep to the substantia corporea there is a thin homogeneous acellular layer called the posterior limiting membrane or Descemet membrane. It is true basement membrane. They can regenerate after the injury. At the margin of this cornea, the posterior limiting membrane becomes continuous with the fiber that form the network in the angle between the cornea and in iris. उसको हम बोलेंगे iridocorneal angle. The space between the fibers of the network are called the space of the iridocorneal angle. Some of the fiber of the network parts into the iris as the pectinate ligament. Now last one there is a posterior epithelium, also name is given this endothelium. Because the lining epithelium of this blood vessels name is given this endothelium, it is simple squamous epithelium. The posterior surface of the cornea is lined by the single layer of these flattened cells that constitute the endothelium of the anterior chambers. This layer is in contact with the aqueous humors of the anterior chambers. The endothelial cells are adapted for the transport of the ion. They pass numerous mitochondria. They are united to neck-bearing cells by the desmosome and by occluding junction. The cells pump out excessive fluid from the cornea and thus exclude its transparency. So here these one are the for the transport this lower epithelium. It is the single layer epithelium. Now, what is the cause of this transparency of this cornea? Because it is avascularity, the regular arrangement of this fiber in substantia corporea, the collagen fibers and the ground substance have the same refractive index, uniform and the regular arrangement of the anterior epithelium, relative state of the corneal dehydration. So nutrition of this cornea is mainly done by the lacrimal fluid forming the thin capillary layer on the surface of the cornea. Aqueous humor in anterior chambers, blood vessels at sclerocorneal junction. So this one are the outermost part of the cornea. Vascular coat of this uvule deep to the sclera that are the vascular coat. Consist of this choroid, ciliary body and iris. So this part are this cornea. Deep to this cornea here there is the anterior chambers. So corneal epithelium identify the structures. A, it is the corneal epithelium. B, this one the Bowman's membrane. C, one are the corneal stroma. D, one are the Descemet membrane. सॉरी यहाँ पे आएगा डिस्मेंट मेम्ब्रेन एबो द एपिथेलियम. ई का मतलब है एंडोथेलियम. इट इज द सिंगल लेयर ऑफ दिस स्कैमस और द लो क्यूबिडल epithelium. So this one are the 5 layer of this cornea. Now clinical application corneal transplant in case of the defective cornea or the opacity. It interferes with the normal vision. This cornea may be removed, can be transplanted from dead person through the eye donation. Protection of this cornea by ferritin iron storage protein. The cornea does not contain the melanin pigment. So constant exposure to UV light may damage the DNA of this nucleus. So this one are the applied anatomy related to the cornea. Now next जो slide है, this one are the sclera. So you can understand the cornea because it is the anterior-most membrane. So behind the cornea, it is the continuous as a sclera. Another applied anatomy related to the cornea or the clinical application, there is a corneal ulcer. Sometimes in an inflammatory or the infective condition of the cornea, involve distribution of the epithelial layer and corneal stroma may produce the corneal ulcer. Now keratitis, it is the inflammation of this cornea, may be or they may not be associated with this infection. Non-infection keratin may be due to the minor injury or the corneal lens, long wear or the foreign body. Now corneal opacity, it occurs when the cornea becomes the sclera. They stop light from the passing for the cornea to retina and many cause the cornea to appear white or the folded over. So this one are the applied anatomy related to the cornea. Sometimes there is a abrasion. So corneal abrasion, here there is a loss of the surface of the epithelial layer of the eye cornea as a result of the trauma to the surface of the eye. Corneal non-vascularization is the excessive ingrowth of the blood vessels from the limbal vascular plexus into the cornea, caused by the deprivation of the oxygen from the air. Keratoconus degenerative disease, the cornea thin and the change shape to the mold like a cone. And Wilson disease में copper pigment deposited in the basement membrane. So this one are the applied or the clinical application related to the cornea. Now second slide are the sclera. So sclera, cornea is continuous with the sclera at the limbus. So name is given. This outer wall of this eyeball is formed in posterior fifth sixth by a thick white opaque membrane called the sclera. The sclera consists of the white fibrous tissue, collagen fibers, some elastic fibers and connective tissue cells. Mainly fibroblasts are also present. Some of the cells are pigmented. So here cornea is continuous with the sclera at the limbus. It consists of the irregularly arranged dense connective tissue, flat bundle of these collagen fibers, network of the elastic fibers and the fibroblast. So this part are the sclera. Externally, the sclera is covered in the anterior part by the ocular conjunctiva and posteriorly by the facial sheath or the episclera. The deep surface of the sclera is separated from the choroid by the perichoroidal space. Here you can see the sclera, anterior part, this one is the sclera. Here this one are the collagen fibers, fifth chromatophobe cells, blood vessels, and this part are the choroid. Pigment and cells are the choroid. So sclera and choroid, inner there is a choroid, outer part there is a sclera. So first it is the sclera, and this part name is given this posterior by the facial sheath. The sclera is covered in anterior by the ocular conjunctiva and posterior by the facial sheath. Name is given this episclera. The deep surface of the sclera is separated from the choroid by the perichoroidal space. So these are the separated from the choroid, deep surface of the sclera. Name is given this perichoroidal space. Delicate connective tissue present in the space constitute the suprachoroidal lamina or the lamina facie. So anterior the sclera become continuous with the cornea at the corneosclerojunction, also called the corneosclerojunction or the limbus. So corneosclerojunction, it is nothing but it is continuation part of the sclera to cornea. So and cornea to sclera. So this part name is given the sclerocorneal junction or the limbus. The circular channels called the sinus venosum sclera. Sclera is located in the sclera just behind the corneoscleral junction. The triangular mass of the scleral tissue project toward the cornea just medial to this sinus. This projection is called the sclera spurs. The optic nerve is attached to the back of the eyeball, a short distance medial to the posterior pole. Here the sclera is perforated like sleeve. An area is therefore called the lamina cribrosa. Now middle coat or the vascular coat are the choroid lies between the sclera and retina. Ciliary body made up of the smooth muscles, ciliary muscles. Iris, it arises from ciliary body, lies between the cornea and the lens. So this one are the middle coat, name is given this vascular coat or uvea. So deep to the sclera there is a vascular coat or the uvea. It consists of this choroid, ciliary body, iris. So this part name is given the vascular coat. So iris, it arises from the ciliary body. It lies deep to the between the cornea, lies between the cornea and the lens. It lined by the ciliary epithelium, is heavily pigmented color of the eye. Dependent upon its pigmentation, it acts as a diaphragm, which control amount of the light enter the eye. So this part name is given this middle coat or the vascular coat. Now retina or the nervous coat. So nervous coat, it is the inner half of this body. Inner coat of this eyeball, it contains the photoreceptor. So name is given this retina. Because the retina, it has a several layers. It is the inner coat of this eyeball. It lies posterior 3/4 of the surface. The retina contains the photoreceptor, उसको हम बोलेंगे rods and cones, which are essential for the vision. So photoreceptor, rods and cones is essential for the vision. Total 8 layer. First layer are the pigmental epithelium. So embryologically, when this retina is developed from different part of this body, example, structures of this retina is brief reference, development is necessary. So retina develop as an outer growth from the brain diencephalon. Proximal part of the diverticulum remains the narrow and is called the optic stalk. In later become the optic nerve. The distal part of this diverticulum form the round, hollow structures called the optic vesicle. This vesicle is invaginated by the developing lens so that it gets converted into the two-layer optic cup. Then here there is it forms the pigmented cell layer. The nervous layer of this retina is developed, ciliary part of this retina is developed, and iridial part of this retina is developed. So this one are the development of this retina. So you can remember easily how there is a microscopically appearance. Because of this retina has a several layer. First there is a pigmented epithelium, locupedal cells. So it has a pigmented cell layer. It is the outermost layer of this retina, which is separated from the choroid by the Busch membrane. This consists of the single layer of these low cuboidal cells containing the melanin pigment. So process from the pigment cell extend into the next layer. So pigment cell layer are the low cuboidal cell. Second layer of this rod are the cylindrical and concept cell process. So this second layer name is given this rods and cones layer. So here it contains the layer of these rods and cones. The rods are process of these rod cells and the cones are process of these cone cells. Peripheral process is a rod shape in the case of the rod cells and the cone shape in case of this cone cells. Third layer are this outer nuclear layer, molar cells and the glial cells. Fourth layer, outer plexiform layer, contain the synaptic dendritics process of the bipolar cells and horizontal cells. Fifth layer, inner layer of this retina. Inner nuclear layer consists of the cell's body and the nuclei of these bipolar cells. Horizontal cells, amacrine cells and the Muller cells. Inner plexiform layer contain the axon of these bipolar cells. Ganglionic cells layer contain the large multipolar neurons and of the ganglionic cells. And 8 nerve fiber layer, it consists of the central process of these ganglion cells. So this one are the total 8 layer of this retina. So here you can see this diagram, first pigment cell layer. So pigment cell layer perform a pigment cell layer, it is made up of this epithelium. So name is given this pigment cell layer because outermost layer of this retina, which is separated from the choroid by the Bruch's membrane, is consist of a single layer of low cuboidal cells containing melanin pigment. Process from pigment cells extend into the next layer. So here you can see this pigment cell layer, दिस एपिथेलियम की जो प्रोसेस है वो नेक्स्ट लेयर तक एक्सटेंड हो रही है. सो दिस फर्स्ट लेयर आता है पिगमेंट सेल लेयर. उसका क्या फंक्शन है पिगमेंट सेल लेयर? इट एब्जॉर्ब द and prevent the back reflection of the light that has passed through the neural layer of this retina. The pigment cells phagocytes and seed membrane. This of the outer segment of the rods and cones. These cells also produce the melanin. They may play a role in regular spacing of the rod and cone and may provide the mechanical support to them. They have the phagocytic roles. They eat up end of these rods and cones without the constantly. So pigment cell appear to be rectangular in vertical section. Their weight greater than their height. Its surface view, they are the hexagonal. The nucleus is basal in position. Pigment in cytoplasm is melanin. With the electron microscope, you can surface the cells of the large microvilli that contain the pigment. These microvilli project into the interval between the process of the rods and cones. Each pigment cell is related to about a dozen rods and cones. The plasma membrane at the base of the cell show the numerous infolding. The second layer are the rods. Here you can see the shape is rods like, the shape is cone like. So this second layer name is given this rods and cones layer because rod are the process of the rod cells and cone are process of the cone cells. The peripheral process in rod shape is case of the rod cells and cone shape in this case cone cells. Now third layer are the outer limiting membrane. So this one are this third layer of this retina, horizontal neuron interconnecting the bipolar cells. So third layer name is given this outer limiting membrane or the lamina. Between the second and third layer, there is a space of the pink line linear marking called as the outer limiting membrane or the lamina. This result because of this jejunum or adherent of the glia cells. Also name is given this molar cells. With the cells body of the photoreceptor cells, the molar cells are the supporting cells of the retina. They have they have long slender body that is rapidly oriented in retina. Fourth layer are the external nuclear layer. The external nuclear layer contains the cell's body and the nuclei of the rod cells and of the cone cells. Rods and cones, the cells are the photoreceptor that convert the stimulation of the light into the nerve impulse. Each rod cells or the cone cells can be regarded as the modified neuron. It consists of the cell body, peripheral process, and the central process. The peripheral process lies in the layer of these rods and cones. This shape, this because of this shape. The nuclei of these cells are arranged in several layers in the form of this external nuclear layer. This layer is directly stained. The central process of each rod cells and cone cells is an axon. It extends into the external plexiform layer where it synapse and dendrites of the bipolar neuron. So here there is a 7 million cones in each retina and the rods are for more numerous. They, they number more than the 100 million. So these are the layer of these rods and cones. Each rod is about 50 micrometer in length and about 2 micrometer thick. Cones are about 40 micrometer in length and 3 to 5 micrometer in thickness. So pigment in the rods is a rhodopsin and that in the cones in iodopsin. ultrastructures of the rods and cone cells. So this one are these rods and cone cells. Now, fifth layer, external plexiform layer. So external plexiform layer, this one are the contain the outer synaptic zone, consist of only nerve fibers that form the plexus. The axon of this rods and the cone synapse here with dendrites and of the bipolar neuron. The horizontal cells this layer stain lightly. So this one are the horizontal neuron interconnecting the bipolar neuron. These are the fifth layer of external plexiform layer. The internal nuclear layer, contains the cell's body and the nuclei of three types of these neurons. Bipolar neurons. So bipolar neurons that gives of the dendrites of the enter the external plexiform layer to synapse with the axon of the rods and cone cells. An axon that enter the internal plexiform layer where they synapse with the dendrites of the ganglion cells. Bipolar cells are the orientated perpendicular to the layer of this retina. Now last one are the horizontal cells. Horizontal cells that also including in this layer. Horizontal cells are the gives of the process of this run parallel to the retinal surface. This process enter outer plexiform layer and the inner plexiform layer and the synapse with the rods and cones and dendrites with the bipolar cells. Horizontal cells are oriented parallel to the layer of this retina. Then horizontal neurons are the two type rods horizontal and the cone horizontal. Depending on where the synapse predominantly with the rods or the cones, each horizontal cells gives of one long process and a number of these short process. So this one are the horizontal cells. Now sometimes there is a bipolar cells, horizontal cells, amacrine cells present होते हैं. So what is the amacrine cells? Also rising horizontally in the retina. This process enters the inner plexiform layer where the synapse with axon of bipolar cells with the dendrites of the ganglionic cells. The term amacrine is applied to neurons that have no true axon. Like a process of horizontal cells, those of the amacrine neurons also conduct the impulse in both directions. The last one there is a Muller cells. So here you cannot see the Muller cells. In some here sclera, corona, retina. So retina here you can see this 9 layer of this retina. So Muller cells appear from the bipolar horizontal and the amacrine neurons. The internal nuclear layer also contains the nuclei of this retinal gliocyte with the cells of these Mullers. So these cells gives of the numerous protoplasmic process that extend through almost the whole thickness of the retina. So this one are the layer of this retina. Now seventh layer are the inner limiting membranes and ganglionic cell layer हो गया. Then now fibers हो गया. Seventh are the layer of this ganglionic cells. Last one. So here this one are the ganglionic cell layer. 14. So ganglionic cell layer also name is given this inner plexiform layer. Deep to this inner plexiform layer there is a ganglionic cell layer. First inner plexiform layer or the inner synaptic zone consists the synapses nerve fibers. The axon of the bipolar cell synapse with the dendritic of the ganglionic cells, and both these process synapses with process of the amacrine cells. The internal plexiform layer also contains some horizontal place, internal plexiform cells and also a few ganglionic cells. Now last there is a above the inner plexiform के नीचे आएगा ganglionic cells layer. So ganglionic cells layer contain the cells body of the ganglion cells. The dendrites of these cells enter the internal plexiform layer to synapse with the process of the bipolar cells and of the umbilical cells. Each ganglion cells give off a axon that form a fiber of the optic nerve. Now उसके नीचे आएगा nerve fiber layer. So now ganglionic cells के बाद आएगा nerve fiber layer. So layer of this optic nerve fibers the nerve fibers is made up of this axon of this ganglionic cells fiber converts the optic disc where they pass through the formation of this lamina crepuscular to enter the optic nerve. The last one their internal limiting membrane. So internal limiting membrane This process of adjoining Muller cells extends to the internal surface of the retina to form the internal limiting membrane. This membrane separates the retina from the vitreous humors. So this one are the appearance of the retina in section during in HNS time. So first sclera, outer fibrous coat, cornea, vascular coat, and retina. This one are the nerosa coat. So three layer of this eyeball you can see outer to inner, sclera, cornea, and retina. So retina here it can give rise from this epithelium. Rods and cones, pigment epithelium, then rods and cones, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, then outer plexiform layer. This one are the inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, then ganglionic cells layer, nerve fiber layer for the inner limiting membranes. So this one are the panoramic view in HN sclera, cornea, and retina. But you cannot identify in lower magnification this 8 to 9 layer of this retina. So this one are this histological appearance of this sclera, cornea, retina. So here you can see this sclera in detailed electron microscope study of this layer of this retina. This one are the sclera, then suprachoroidal layer, this one is suprachoroidal layer, this part are this choroid, vascular layer of this choroid. Here there is a choroidocapillary layer, and this layer are this process of this pigment cells extending between these rods and cones. This layer are this rods and cone layer. These are the outer limiting membrane, nuclear of these cones, nuclear of the rods, outer process of these molar cells, synapse between the horizontal and the visual cells. These are the synapse between these cones and rods. The cells are the bipolar cells. These cells are the molar cells. This one are the bipolar because it has a two poles of this dendritis. Here these are the molar cells. These cells are the umbracrine cells. This one are the synapse between the process of this bipolar and umbracrine and ganglionic cells. This one are the ganglionic cells. This fiber of the optic nerve, so fibrous layer. This one are the horizontal fibers, inner limiting membrane. So here there is a layer, complete the ninth layer of this retina. यहाँ से retina शुरू होता है, this part are the choroid, this part are the sclera. In this rods and cones layer, this rods and cones layer, outer plexiform layer, bipolar nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglionic cells layer, and fibrous layer. So this one are the layer of this retina. So what is the blood retina barrier? Blood vessels that ramify in the retina do not supply the rods and cones. They are supplied by the diffusion from the choroid vessels. The endothelial cells of the capillary in the retina are united by the light tight junction to prevent the diffusion of the substance into the rods and cones. This is referred to as the blood retina barrier. Now here you can see the identification point. This part of the sclera, this part of the choroid is outer layer of this retina. So retina is divided into the ninth zone, outer segmental layer. First layer of the retina, pigment cell layer ना उसको हम बोलेंगे pigment cell layer. So this A is indicate the pigment cell layer, B is indicate the layer of this rods and cone, then outer limiting membrane, then this one C is indicate the this layer are the external plexiform layer, rods and cones, external and nuclear layer. Then C is indicate the inner big external nuclear layer. This one are the inner nuclear layer, ganglionic fibers, then horizontal cells यहाँ पे होते हैं, internal plexiform layer, layer of these ganglionic cells, then layer of this optic nerve fibers. This one are the layer of this optic nerve fibers. This one are the ganglionic cell layer. So these are the ninth to 10th layer of this retina. So lens, first lens capsule. So lens capsule, it is transparent, homogeneous, and the highly elastic collagen basement membrane. This made up of this mainly of this type 4 collagen fibers and glycoprotein. Capsule is thicker in front than behind. It is scattered by the lens epithelium. Second one is lens epithelium or the anterior epithelium. So it is deep to the capsule. The lens is covered on a anterior surface by the lens epithelium. The cells of the epithelium are cuboidal, simple cuboidal shape. Cells of the epithelium are the metabolically active, contain the potassium ATPase. The cells show the high mitotic activity and form the new cells which migrate toward the equator. The lens epithelium cells continue to divide and develop into the lens fiber. The last one, there is a lens substance or the lens fibers. So lens fiber or the lens fibers develop from lens epithelial cells that continue to divide into the get elongated and then transform into the lens fiber. They are mainly composed of the soluble protein called the crystalline. The fibers from the earlier line in the deeper plane, the newer ones occupy the more superficial. So this one are the lens. Applied anatomy related to the lens, cataract lens may become opaque. Lens remove from its capsule and replace a plastic lens. So this one are the applied anatomy related to the lens. Presbyopia at the 40 to 45 year of this age. So these are the related to the lens. So cataract, it is the opacification of the normally crystalline lens, with which lends to gradual painless blurring of vision. The vision caused the cataract are silently congenital or the Down syndrome, rubella, galactosomia, traumatic pigment injury, electrical injury, metabolic diabetic hypothyroidism, drug associated long-term. These all are the related to the cataract, smoking and the heavy alcohol consumption. So these are the applied anatomy related to the an aging process at the presbyopia 40 to 45 year of this age. मुझे બેતાળા કહે છે 42 year પછી જે generally આવે this condition name is given this presbyopia. Now the eyelid. So eyelid, it is the part of this outer to inner skin, loose connective tissue, orbicularis oculi, muscles, transport plate, palpebral conjunctiva, stratified column with the goblet cells. Three types of this gland are present in eyelid, tarsal or the meibomian gland, long sebaceous gland of this Zeiss, also name is given this sebaceous gland of this eyelid, the gland of this small sweat gland. So this part are the covering part of this eyelid. Here you can see this section of this eyelid, outer portion, this one are the skin, thin skin का जो part है उस आएगा, stratified squamous, epidermis and dermis का part है thin skin, it contain the hair follicle, this one are the hair follicle. Middle coat में आपको muscles दिखेगा, this muscles name is given this orbicularis oculi. So palpebral part of this orbicularis oculi muscles, it are the middle coat. In inner coat there is a connective tissue and there is present the large number of this gland. This gland name is given this meibomian gland. So duct of this tarsal plate and this one are the glandular structures. Name is given this meibomian gland. This one are the identification point of this eyelid. So eyelid are two movable skin fold are protected the eye from the injury and keep the cornea clear and the moist. So basic structures of this eyelid anteriorly, there is a layer of this true skin or the thin skin, with a few small hair and sweat gland and associate thick thin skin. Deep to the skin, there is a layer of this delicate connective tissue and normally does not contain fat. Considerable thickness of the eyelid is informed by the fasciculi. Palpable part of this orbicularis oculi muscles. So this one are the skeletal muscles. This middle part are the orbicularis oculi muscles or the skeletal muscles. The skeleton of each eyelid is formed by the mass of this fibrous tissue called the tarsus or the tarsus plate. This one are the tarsal plate or the tarsal tissue. On the deep surface of the tarsal plate, there series of this vertical groove in which the tarsal gland and meibomian gland are lodged. This one are the tarsal gland or the meibomian gland. So tarsus and this one are the meibomian gland and this one are the duct of this meibomian gland. So lodged occasionally this gland may be embedded within the tarsal plate. Each gland has a duct that open in free margin of the eyelid, the tarsal gland are modified sebaceous gland. It produces the oily secretion and thin film is spread over the lacrimal fluid in the conjunctival cells and in the delay in evaporation. Modified sweat gland or the ciliary gland or the gland of the Morse are present in the lid near the free edge of the sebaceous gland, present in relation to the eyelashes. So this gland name is given this gland of the gills. They open into the hair follicle. Accessory lacrimal gland are often present just above the tarsal plate. This gland name is given this gland of Wolfram. The inner surface of the eyelid is lined by this palpebral conjunctiva. So this part are this inner part. This one are the epithelium, stratified polymer epithelium. Name is given the palpebral conjunctiva. These are the section of this eyelid. So outer में आपको thin skin दिखेगी, middle में आपको मसल्स स्केलेटल मसल्स दिखेंगे, इनर में आपको ग्लैंड दिखेंगे, मॉडिफाइड सेबेसियस ग्लैंड उसको हम बोलेंगे मेबोबियन ग्लैंड और द टार्सल ग्लैंड, सम सिलियरी ग्लैंड आल्सो प्रेजेंट और उसको हम बोलेंगे ग्लैंड ऑफ मोर्स, ग्लैंड्स ऑफ जिल्स एंड द ग्लैंड ऑफ वोल्फ्रेन. सो दिस आर द सेक्शन ऑफ दिस आईलिड. सो आईलिड की जो अप्लाइड हिस्टोलॉजी है, समटाइम्स यहाँ पे स्टाई होती है जो हम उसको आंजनी बोलते हैं गुजराती में. Also name is given the external or hordeolums. It is acute suppurative inflammation of the sebaceous gland of the gills, the apocrine gland of the mole and the eyelash follicle. And chalazions क्या है? It is a very common lesion and is the chronic inflammatory process involving the meibomian gland. It occurs as a result of the obstruction of this drainage of the secretion. The inflammatory process begins with the destruction in the meibomian gland in the duct and the subsequently involved tarsal plate. So this one are the applied histology related to the eye bone. So identify the structures. So this part are the section of this lip. This part are the section of this eyelid because लिप में भी आपको आउटर जो स्किन वाला पार्ट आपको दिखेगा, इनर मसल्स दिखेंगे और ऑक्यूपिलरिस ऑक्यूली ओरिस है, ये वाला ऑर्बिकुलरिस ऑक्यूली बोथ मिडल कोट में मसल्स है. तो इनर कोट में डिफरेंस है, यहाँ पे टार्सल प्लेट मेबोबियन ग्लैंड है, यहाँ पे मल्टीपल म्यूकोजल ग्लैंड और द लेबियल ग्लैंड है. सो दिस आर द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस लिप एंड द आईलिड. सो हिस्टो में सेक्शन में आपको आईलिड और लिप की स्लाइड्स दोनों सेम दिखेगी, बट इनर हाफ में ये चेंजेस है. इनर हाफ में आईलिड में टार्सल ग्लैंड मेबोबियन ग्लैंड होगी, टार्सल प्लेट होगी, यहाँ पे मल्टीपल म्यूकोजल ग्लैंड होगी. सो दिस आर द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द सेक्शन ऑफ दिस लिप एंड आईलिड. नाउ lacrimal gland. So lacrimal gland those composed tubuloacinar serous gland which pour their secretion tear in the superior conjunctiva fornix of the small duct. So this one are the section of this lacrimal gland. So lacrimal gland और parietal gland आपको सेम दिखेगी, but lacrimal gland में क्या है? It is composed of this tubulo-alveolar gland and consists of the number of these lobes that drain for the 20 ducts. It is tear secreting gland. Also name is given the tear secreting. You see this section of the lacrimal gland. Here there is a glandular alveolar. This one are the intralobar duct, myopithelial cells or the basket cells, then interlobar connective tissue, आउटर आउट पॉकेटिंग सेल्स ऑफ द ग्लैंडुलर सेल्स. तो यहाँ पे आपको देखा ल्यूमेन के अंदर एक दूसरे सेल्स अंदर एक्सटेंड हो रहे, उसका नाम दिया हमने आउट पॉकेटिंग ऑफ द ग्लैंडुलर सेल्स. इट इज एब्सेंट इन पैरोटिक ग्लैंड. सो ग्लैंडुलर टिश्यू लैक्रिमल ग्लैंड में क्या होती है? ट्यूबुलर ग्लैंड है, क्या 20 डक्ट्स होती है, ड्रेन इनटू द ड्रग इज आल्सो नेम इज गिवन द टीयर सेक्रेटिंग ग्लैंड. Structure of the lacrimal gland similar to that of the serous salivary gland or the parotid gland, but it can distinguish from the those because of this acini are larger and have wider lumen. Lacrimal gland की acini कैसी होती है? Large and wide lumen compared to the parotid gland or the serous salivary gland. All cells appear to be of the same type. They are low columnar shape, stain pink with an HN stain, and profile of the acini are often irregular or elongated. The wall of this adjacent acini within lobules made by press together, there being very little connective tissue between this Then, however, acini is different lobules are widely separated by the connective tissue. Myopithelial cells are present, as in salivary gland. Some small duct of the lacrimal gland are lined by the cuboidal or the columnar epithelium. Large duct have a low layer columnar epithelium or the pseudostratified polyepithelium. Under the electron microscope, study on the human lacrimal gland reveal that of the secretory cells may be several types, including the both mucous and the serous cells. The duct of the lacrimal gland open into the lateral part of the superior conjunctival fornix. Lacrimal fluid keep the conjunctiva moist. Accessory lacrimal gland are present near the superior conjunctival fornix of the gland of this Gracious. So this one are the changes occur. The tubuloacinar gland, myopithelial cells also present, interlobular exudate duct are present, adipose cells present, blood vessels in the nerve. So section of this lacrimal gland you can easily identify and then compare with this parotid gland. Here there is a different cells, outpocketing cells are present within this glandular cells. Lumen is larger and acina are larger than wider the lamina. Cells appear to be same type and look columnar in shape in stain pink with HN stain. This one are the glandular alveoli. This one are the interlobal connective tissue and blood vessels, interconnecting duct, interlobar connecting duct. So these are the section of this lacrimal. So here there is a complete the class of this histology of this eye. So और special sense में दो आते हैं eye and ear. So I will take the eye. Here there is a complete. Also with applied histology, cornea में आपको देखा corneal ulcer, keratitis, corneal opacity है, then corneal abrasion आएगा, corneal neurovascular aberration है, keratoconus आएगा, Wilson disease आएगा. रेटिना की applied anatomy रेटिना detachment हो जाएगा, रेटिनल पिगमेंटेशन होता है, रेटिना ब्लास्टोमा हो सकता है. लेंस में कैटरेक्ट आएगा, eyelid में स्टाई and chelation. Retinal detachment is important here. It is the separation of this neurosensory retina from the retinal pigment epithelium. It may occur spontaneously in older individual past 50 year of the age, or may be secondary to trauma in the region of the head and neck. These are three pathogenic mechanisms with the retinal detachment. First, pathological process in the vitreous or the anterior chambers, collection of the serous fluid in the substantial space, accumulation of this vitreous under the retina through a hole or a tear in retina. These are the conditions due to this retinal detachment. Thank you.